So let's begin. Welcome FMAC community, all of our students, families, friends, visitors. It's always good to have you with us. Now this cycle we're talking about the power of words. Now last week we talked about the power of thoughts and how our thoughts can help or hurt ourselves or others. I'd like to begin this week's talk with a little saying that some of you may have learned in grammar school. Sticks and stones may bruise my bones, but words will never hurt me. We hear that when we're little and it has one meaning, but as we get a little bit older, we realize that's not true. It isn't. You see, words that you say to people, especially family and close friends, it has power. And that's power either to make them feel happy, inspired, encouraged, or make them feel absolutely horrible, devastated. Had a young mom come into my office once as she brought her child to Karate Kids class, crying. On the way in a fit of anger, her child said to her, child's maybe 4, "I hate you." Now she's a new parent. See, you get older, you learn how to deal with all that, but she was absolutely devastated. And when I wrote that, I had her in mind. Her child, just in a fit of rage, not even thinking, took away from her something that she always felt, the confidence of being a parent, and she had to look at herself a little bit differently. And wow, when we realize that we're doing things like that to family who really cares about us, trust me, your coach, your teacher, not even Mr. David's going to go over to your house and make you breakfast. Not going to happen. Not going to clean your clothes. Okay? Your moms and your dads, family, close friends, those are the ones that are your support system. Okay? And those feelings that our words say can last a very long time, even a lifetime. Now, in this week's talk, Dippy and Doodle will show us the power that their words have on each other in a little talk that we are calling The Words We Say to Others. All right, it was a regular day at FMAC, and Wisdom was beginning his talk. He was talking about words and how our words can hurt. Think of this little sister here. If she's hearing these words over and over again from a big brother, "You're a loser, no one likes you, everyone hates you." All right, that's not going to go down very well. She's probably not going to get a little bit older and feel good about herself. She's probably not going to be able to do all the best that she was able to do, because something happens when those words get in there to make changes. It's so important that we understand that. But words can also help and heal. All right, now imagine hearing these words all the time. You can do it. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's hard work, but you can do it. I can't? You mean I can't now, or I can't yet. But there's no such thing as I can't. All right? You hear those words growing up, you're probably going to be a little bit happier, a little bit better able to get along with other folks, and probably doing the best that you can. So remember, your words can hurt, your words can help and heal, and you're already doing that, and you're probably just not aware of it yet. And not just the young people, but all of us older people as well. All right, well, Dippy thought about that on the way home, because he used that time to think about what the talks were. And you know, what he tried to do, he tried to think of some instance where he used words to help someone. And he couldn't think of one time that he used his words to encourage or inspire. But then he thought, what about if I've used words to hurt someone? And all of a sudden, a whole bunch of past experiences came to his mind. He had had an argument with a friend at school, and wow, he said some really mean words there. And then he had an argument with his sister Doodle, and she was so sad, and he felt really bad about that. But you know, that kind of feeling bad is a good thing, because it means that Dippy realized that what he did wasn't very good. And once we realize that, then we have the spark that can make changes. okay? And you can change things just like that, as quickly as that. You just have to want it, okay? All right, well, he got home, he hung up his uniform, and then he heard some soft crying coming from one of the other rooms. He went over into Doodle's room, and she was in tears on her bed. Hey, what's wrong, he asked her. She said, I got a D on my test. Well, again, words being what they are, little rash thoughts started coming to him. He thought it was kind of funny. Oh, a D, that is so dumb. And then rash thoughts gave him, I thought she was the smart one. Now, when we have those impulsive thoughts, we don't have to speak them, okay? But Dippy didn't get that memo yet. So, ha ha, oh, that is so dumb. And you're supposed to be the smart one. Well, that was it. The dam burst, and she was flooding the place with tears. And he felt awful. And you know what happens when somebody reacts poorly to something we do or say? All of a sudden, the rash thoughts disappear. Whoa! And Rash was out of there. He was gone. But you know, once something like that happens and the blights, the bad thoughts are gone, that's when the black belt characters can be heard so much more clearly. Self-control comes in. Dippy, those were some really mean words. You have to learn to think before you speak. She said, remember? And she reminded him of that little girl at the school, the sister, whose big brother was saying mean things to her, and how that ended up. And then even Integrity came in and said, remember, your words are either going to help someone or they're going to hurt someone. And then good old Wisdom chimed in, the choice of which words to use is up to you. It's always up to you. You are the only one that chooses the words that you speak. Now, Integrity says, go do the right thing. So he looked at her and he said, oh, Doodle, I am sorry. She stopped crying. He said, I thought I was making a joke, but I can see what I really did was hurt you. I'm really sorry. She just kind of looked down, and then he said, I'll help you explain to Mom and Dad about the test score, and I'll help you study for your next test. She looked down and just looked at him and said, thanks, Dippy. It was a kind of a quiet moment between them. And would you like to know what happened next? Dippy kept his promise. He helped Doodle study for her next test. He used words of encouragement to help her to do her best, and 2 weeks later, she got off the bus with a test score that was a B+. Turns out pretty well, especially when brothers and sisters all work together. Now remember, the effects of your words, good or bad, can last a lifetime. So choose your words wisely. Let me go off script for just a minute. Another situation happened to me. When I was in the 8th grade, I looked across in the homeroom, that's what they call it then, and I said to one of the kids there, who was a good friend, your teeth are all yellow this morning. That was it. At our 3rd class reunion, maybe 30 years later, she was there and she came up to me and she said, you know, I got to tell you something. Back there in the 8th grade, you said my teeth were yellow, and I've been so self-conscious about my smile ever since. Those dumb words that I said with Rash in the background made her carry those words the whole 30 years. Words are time travelers. They are. Most of your moms and dads can tell you there have been things that were said to them a long time ago that still have an impact. Okay? You can learn that now when you're little, and you can be really careful of the words that you use. You're going to build a real neat life for yourself with all kind of good things around you. Because bad words tend to pull things apart. Families, relationships, okay? So I felt horrible. And as a tribute to her, every year I do this talk again to make sure that I at least spread the message that your words can last a long, long time. I'm only hoping, now that I apologize, she's not still carrying that around, because it's been good 20 years since then, almost. Okay? Until your next visit, stay safe and stay well.